keep this as interactive as possible. So when I ask you questions, I want you to be ready. No chit-chatting with each other. Right now you're zoned in. Is that fair? Do you have an agreement? Yes? You guys can zone in for 2 hours? Perfect. Alhamdulillah. No cell phones too, yeah? If you have cell phones, keep it in your pockets. Whatever you have, I want you to be focused. If you do this well, you can grow. I know everybody here wants to grow. They want to make the best of their time. They don't want to waste their time, inshallah. I expect that. If you do this well, perhaps you can become a speaker that can change the hearts and minds of people. If you do this well, you can be a person that's inspiring day in and day out, inshallah, and transforming human beings. Especially when you're early in your life, yeah? If you get this training when you're 13, 14, you're ahead of the game. Yes? You're 12, even better, mashallah. Okay, so some of the assignments I will let the team basically look at the assignments. There are 3 parts to it, inshallah. One is the introduction and a little bit of fiqh. What is fiqh? Anybody know what fiqh is?
It's ruling or the laws of.
Okay. You're there. Rulings from who?
From sheikhs, imams, or whoever.
The sheikhs and imams give rulings? I didn't know that.
I mean, like people who understand Islamic law or like Sharia.
Okay, it's good. What is Sharia?
Islamic law.
Sharia linguistically means the path in water. But what most people understand is what you said is Islamic law. Fiqh actually means linguistically understanding, a deep understanding. So we need to by the way, since we're Muslim, what is the word, like, what makes you Muslim? What is the definition of being a Muslim?
Believing in Allah.
Yeah, believing in Allah, that's true, but that's not really like, it's not enough understanding. Anybody else?
Following the 5 pillars of Islam.
Just 5 pillars? That's it? That's what Islam is? The answer is not valid, my friend. Yes.
For the articles of faith and believing that everything is by Allah's power.
Okay, articles of faith, what you mean by everything's by Allah's power? Even your hairstyle is by Allah's power? MashaAllah. Well, come on, folks, give me a better, like, you want to go and talk about Islam. How can you convey something that you don't understand yourself? What do you think, my man?
What the definition of Islam?
What is Islam? What it means to be a Muslim?
Well, like, if you look at it like directly, it's someone who believes in Allah and there's only one Almighty power.
What does it mean? One Almighty power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What does it mean?
I'm not too sure, but what's called the second part I was gonna say is that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the final messenger of God.
Salli alayhi. So when he says Rasulullah, what are you supposed to say? Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Okay, it's not an answer gonna work.
That would be direct.
It ain't gonna work. The reason we're getting beaten as an ummah is because we do not understand what Islam stands for. I kid you not. Wallahi, I kid you not. Yes.
Being Muslim is surrender to Allah.
Okay, this is getting a little bit better. Aslamtu means what? Who speaks Arabic here?
I don't speak Arabic, but does it mean submission? Or
You are saying that I submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I submit my will. I submit my will to the Lord of the heaven and the earth. So meaning the way you live your life, what is halal and what is haram, what is lawful, unlawful, comes from who? Comes from you? Comes from you? Your desires? No, it comes from Allah Jal Jalaluhu. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you what you can wear, what you cannot wear. Allah tells you what you can eat and what you cannot eat. We can eat the halal shawarmas. We cannot eat the pork shawarma, yeah? Why would you speak about that? We eat no bacon. We can eat the turkey halal bacon, yeah? You get what I mean? Allah tells you what you eat. Does Allah tell you how you go to the washroom? How do you go? Left in, right out. Allah tells you how you put your shoes. Right first, left, right. Everything Allah basically is giving you guidance. And you're obliged as a Muslim to live by that guidance. Is that true? Yes, Labib. Assalamu alaikum, man. What's your name, Labib? Taha? Oh, mashallah. Is it, how hard is it? But you see, Islam is not like that. Islam is actually a guidance not only for individuals, but also for who? Let me ask you something. I can make a point. If I give you American Constitution, yeah? I may not remember all the names. Hassan, who's Hassan? If I give you American Constitution, I told you, take this American Constitution and apply it in your household. Can you do that?
Don't know if you
Oh my God, so give me something else, mashallah. Nobody knows the American Constitution? So I'll use a different example. Sorry folks, like it's been a while since I've worked with the young folks, mashallah. So let's just say, I give you, like maybe since you're only been in law, right? The Sunday brings you a law, the Canadian laws. And they tell you, take all the laws in Canada and you need to implement in your household. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The sister started nodding. She's like, no, I disagree with you, brother. It doesn't. Why? Because the laws are for what? They're for the country. They're for the entire society. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you, Al-yawma akmaltu lakum deenakum, and they say, I perfected this deen, what is Allah telling you? Allah saying that I've given you a system of life. A system of life. A system of laws. A system of ethics and morals. For what? To manage the affair of humanity. Yesterday, one of my doctor friends, I met him last night. He works in Emerge. So he's like, the other day he had a patient said, call me a wolf. No kidding, bro. He's like, call me a wolf. Like, it's crazy. What's going on here, man? He said, the other day he had a patient where this woman was like man or woman, he wasn't sure. And what they were doing is the dad is with the girl, and the dad can't use a name because the girl doesn't want to be called a name. So dad is calling day and it. Like, I'm like, bro, this is like super confusing. I don't even understand how this jargon works. Why? Because they're not going back to Allah. They're making stuff up. Literally. Allah says in the Quran, أَرَأَيْتَ مَنِ اتَّخَذَ إِلَهُ هَوَى. They've taken their desires as the lawmaker. They're taking their desires as the one that tells you what is good and bad. So when somebody asks you, what is Islam? What it means to be Muslim, Islam is a system of life, is to manage the affairs of humanity. Why? Because when the messengers come, what do they care about? Is it just about individuals? The messenger, when Musa went, who did he speak to? Who did Musa speak to? Musa. He spoke to who?
Pharaoh.
Who's Pharaoh? Who? But Pharaoh, who's Pharaoh? What's his position in the city?
He's the leader of the society.
He's the city. Today you go to Biden, right? Allah says, Innahu tagha. Go to him. Go to Biden and tell him what you're doing in Gaza, what you're doing in different parts of the world. Have you ever thought of that? And Allah describes in many places in the Quran, Fir'aun was like, today we talk about what? The pyramids in Egypt. And the white folks are so fascinated. Ooh, the pyramids. How did they build these things? It's so amazing. These bricks are so big. I don't know how they got to the top. And it's so symmetrical, blah, blah, blah. They go on and on. And these were, they were the power brokers. They were the Americans of the past. They were the superpower of the past. And Allah is telling Musa to say, go to him. Because he's causing oppression and tyranny upon land. Ooh, that's powerful stuff. So when Muhammad ﷺ came, what did Allah tell him? Go where? Speak to who? The Quraysh. Who are the Quraysh of Arabian Peninsula? Who are they?
They were the superpower of Arabia.
They were the number one tribe. Allah says in the Quran, al-Qura. And they are the heads of the al-Qura, which is Mecca. The word Mecca means it's a center. So Allah is telling, commanding the Messenger ﷺ to go speak to Quraysh because they're causing what? Tyranny and oppression and they're taking advantage of people, and they're being unjust, and they're spreading their injustices upon earth. You see how empowering Islam is? And most people, when I ask about Islam, what are they talking about? Oh, we're just going to pray 5 times. Of course you do, because you need to pray 5 times, but that's not where it just starts there. It's Binyan al-Islam, it's the foundation of Islam. SubhanAllah. And when we forget what Islam is, what happens? We have people like, IDF and Israel and the Americans and the British all ganging up together. They drew up the borders. Who drew up the borders for Palestine? Who drew up the border for Algeria and Libya? And it's not the Muslims. The country that you belong to, it was the colonizers. They drew up your borders. Did you know that? India, Pakistan, the British. I'm assuming you're from Pakistan.
Yeah.
Right? The British drew up your borders. Where are you guys from? I'm looking for a different nationality. This is where you're from. Morocco. Yeah, Morocco and the French. Who drew up the border? Algeria. I was just speaking to my Algerian friend in the morning. Who drew up the border? SubhanAllah. That's why you need to understand Islam. So think about it. Today, how important it is for us to unite and inspire the Ummah. It's extremely important. So when you come with the right intention, Allah puts barakah. Inshallah. So then somebody asks you, what is Islam? And if someone asks you what it means to be Muslim, it means to be a person that is submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. 100%. 100% without any compromises. If you just convey this message, I think, alhamdulillah, I think you're going to go a long way. So this is the agenda that I have, inshallah. Why should we do khutbahs? Skills required, the fiqh of khutbah, structure of khutbah, tips to be an effective khateeb, and I'm going to give you an example of how you want to lay it down, inshallah. Very quick. But the first question is, very sort of ask the question. But the question for you is like, why do you want to give khutbahs, right? I know I asked you in general, you want to be public speaking. But what is the objective of giving khutbahs? So the brother's saying to teach people about Islam, okay? What else?
To like inspire people of what you can do and steps and like what happens and stuff.
What do you mean what happened? Right?
I mean give them steps of just give them sentences about like if they're in a problem with what they can do, what they can say.
Okay, so you mean like call to action?
Yeah.
Okay, so call to action to do something. Okay, good. Why would you want to give khutbahs?
Maybe like one of the people in the crowd that you're doing khutbah to, they find something interesting and they go to some of their friends, talk about it, and their friends are also.
So you want to spread the word.
Yeah.
You want to inspire somebody, perhaps they can inspire people that were absent. What do you want to give a khutbah, friend? Your dad told you so?
Yeah.
No, it's what?
To take the knowledge that you've been seeking for so long and you're passionate about it, spread it to other people and to inspire other people.
Okay, so you learn some knowledge. Now you want to convey it. You want to pass it on, inshallah.
I would like sum it up. I think it's just to bring people closer to Allah.
Okay, good. You want to bring people closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What? What do you mean by that? Yeah, go for it. So you want practice. You're looking for opportunity to grow. Okay, good. I think you guys spoke about it. Number one is, and this is an exhaustive list. This is the list I came up with. One is to do da'wah. Who was, the message was, he was a da'i ila Allah. He was a da'i. What is a da'i? He's calling to Allah. He's calling to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's calling to his remembrance. He's calling to his guidance. He's calling to Allah's deen. That's what you're doing. You know, it's a very heavy responsibility. Secondly, who's been to boarding khutbah? Nobody's been to boarding khutbah? They don't happen in Brantford. MashaAllah, the public speaking training is on point. You've been to boarding khutbahs. Boarding khutbahs? You've never been to boarding khutbahs? Have you seen the uncles in the khutbahs? They're sleeping, taking a nap, snoring away? I've seen that, man. I was offended. That happened to me once too. There are many khutbahs. They're not relevant. They're not speaking about the real stuff. They're not relevant, and the styles are not the best. Number 3 is so you can get better. Yeah, you want to get better, inshallah. 4 is what? It's a reminder for yourself. The more you remind others, who's the first person being reminded? It's yourself, inshallah. And number 5 is key. One of the reasons I've been able to maintain knowledge, whatever I have, is because I've been speaking about it. There's barakah in what you learn and what you speak about it. You discuss it with people. Otherwise, you're going to forget everything. 6 is the fard al-kifaya, is obligatory upon every city to have a Jum'ah. It's obligatory. For example, if Brantford had no Jum'ah, the city of everybody living in Brantford would be sinning. Why? Because it's a fard al-kifaya. Everyone. Why? Because you're supposed to have it. Alhamdulillah, there is a Jum'ah here that takes place. Number 7 is calling people to good and forbidding evil. Easy peasy. And number 8, which is powerful and has lots of responsibility. You're taking on the role of the Messenger Sallallahu himself. So when you're standing in the minbar, this is the minbar of the Rasulullah. It's not a joke. It has eloquence, it has a responsibility, and you need to speak the truth, inshallah. And finally, nobody mentioned this. What do you get? What is the most important thing that you want? It is? It's ajr, ajr, ajr. Why? Because that's what we live for. We want to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We want to stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with lots of great rewards. So perhaps we can go to Jannah. Yes? Everybody wants to go to Jannah here? Maybe some of you? There's only 2 options. Jannah or Jahannam. Pick one. Jannah, right? Come on. Alhamdulillah. We'll take it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you guys into, so you guys, I can sense the crowd being, so 4 people here. I want you to come up with what are the requirements of being a good Khateeb. 4, 4, 4, and 4. I guess that's good. You can always bounce ideas with me for now, inshallah. Okay, so discuss amongst your 4 what are requirements of being a good Khateeb. Okay, let's go to chatter. Be the buzzing bees. You should have called the sisters, by the way. Yeah, 4 right here.
Preparation.
Where are your friends?
Oh, you need a group.
Where's the other guys?
What? She needs a group.
Yeah. So this is
Preparation.
maybe you can help her out.
What are the requirements for being
The sisters don't need help, right? They know what to do, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah. You tell me.
Clear speaking. Clear speaking.
What are the requirements to be good at something?
Cool. Good at.
No, at something. You're
No,
You're no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so when he says
He's better grades than you. Shush, I want to hear it.
I did.
Preparation.
What do you
You're talking about
Preparation.
being more proficient.
Of being good.
Challenge.
It's talking about like being excelling at something and not being extinguished.
That's how he plays.
Knowing how to do something.
Okay.
How would you think for your case, like public speaking, very strong research? So what skills do you need? Plus, you keep these people on track.
Time.
Alright, so having good niyyah is
I'm committed.
Oh, where's the discussion?
That's basically in that subcategory.
Where's the discussion? I'm not hearing some chat. Chit chat, come on.
Listen over there, brother. Turn over there.
like this.
Turn around.
Is he becoming like one of those?
No,
He's a little.
I saw
He's got a
him do
big
like a
ear.
hand movement. I thought it was funny.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yo, this guy's trying to speak. Send him a missile. Like the Shayateen, you know, they get the missile from them.
You have committed?
Yeah, we will.
Time management and commitment.
I think it's swimming, for example. You swim? Like if it's the first
Because
time
Lucas,
you
One more minute.
Tell that he's trying to.
One more minute, inshallah.
can swim across the pool. Anytime you do, you get more and more, you get more and more confidence. And now you can swim on the pool.
I'm trying to think.
I think that's you think.
Less terrified.
I don't. Let's go do.
Bravery, yeah.
Courage.
Courage.
Brother, pick one person from your team who will speak.
You want to speak?
Sure.
You'll have 30 seconds to give a powerful speech.
Your bravery is
I don't really want to say it. I don't really want to say it. If I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna take my president, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna say like, oh, you have to beat
No, I just answer the question. Answer the question. Okay, 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 5, 3, 1. Does you want to go first? No pressure.
Let the sister go first.
Exactly, sister, go first.
I would think practice and research, because if say, let's take the example of swimming, when you practice a lot, you gain the confidence.
Yes.
So you won't be scared to, for example, go into the deep end, and research as well, like say, you're researching about something, you get more knowledge of it, so like it makes you better at the
So you're saying practice?
research.
Practice doesn't make you perfect. Oh man, this is like, what does practice make? Practice makes? Doesn't. Who's perfect? Only Allah is perfect. You can never reach it. Practice makes progress. Practice makes progress. That's what matters, right? So very good. So you have practice, and second you said knowledge. MashaAllah, sister's on fire. We'll start from the right here. Who's speaking?
Alright, so we have preparation.
So preparation.
You know, knowing what you're gonna say, and research goes hand in hand. You know,
Okay. Research. Okay, good. Preparation.
Okay, and repetition. So practice what you're gonna say over and over and over again. So when you get up there, you're not like, oh, I'm nervous. You know.
Yeah.
Have some courage. You know, like stand tall, posture is good. Be confident in what you're gonna say, so you can get your message across. Time management and commitment, they also go together. You know, you have to put in the time if you want people to hear your message, right? And then you also have to be passionate. You have to like it, because if you don't like what you're gonna say, who else is gonna like what you're gonna say?
Yeah. So this is good. The last piece you spoke of being authentic. And so, in the best salespeople are the one that they're convinced, deeply convinced about the product that they're selling. If you're not convinced about Islam, I think that right now when you're having a discussion, you're trying to convince an idea of Islam, or you're convincing something about Islam to someone else. So you need to be convinced. SubhanAllah. Good stuff. Good developed, mashallah. What was up next?
Okay, firstly, I would like to say that they stole some of our ideas.
Oh, subhanAllah.
No.
Oh yeah?
No. I didn't say anything that you guys. I said it first. Okay, trust me.
No one heard you talking.
Yeah. Allah waqafa billahi shahidan. Allah enough of the witness. Go on.
Okay, so of course you have to have knowledge on the certain topic that
Knowledge?
you're talking about. You have to have research for the topic.
Research?
You're
Yo,
talking
listen.
about. It's a consensus. You have to know this stuff. This is stuff you need to know, right? So knowledge. You have to at least be interested in the topic, right? Because if you're not interested in a topic, then you won't necessarily want to do good in it, or
Okay.
won't care as much in learning it
So knowledge, research, interest. So those
and understanding.
are making sure, right?
Yeah.
Good. Anything else? Are you satisfied with the answer for your team? Anything you want to add? Okay, good. Because you did okay, man. I think you lost some of your good responses to the other team. It seems like that.
Having knowledge, because what are you teaching if you don't know what you're teaching? And having confidence about what you're talking about, and having experience or practice to what you're talking about, so you don't mess up and just don't do something wrong. And having communication skills so you can actually convey the message.
So you added something new here, communication skills, and you spoke about the confidence, knowledge, research. Yes? Last, but not least, who's gonna speak? You don't wanna speak? What do you need to add? You don't trust your brother?
You have to have courage, you have to have determination, you have to have repetition or consistency in what you're saying. You also have to have, you have to think why you're doing, have a good reason why.
So know your why, I like it. Man. What else you got there?
And a really important thing is that you need to have try to let go of your fear. Like that also goes into courage as well. Like if you have fear, you have to let go of it. Even if it's for a little while, you have to let go for it. It's a hard thing to do, but it makes you a better person.
Anything you want to add?
You wanted to say thing over and over.
What do you mean consistently? What does it have to do with the hook?
Being good at something. How you
You mean consistency over time?
Yeah.
Anything else? So you take the same 3-pointer 1,000 times, you can get better at a shot. And then come and block them. That's it. What else? Determination? Okay, good. So number one, actually I'll start with this. It's actually quite easy. I'll come back to the ayah, inshallah. So there are 4 skill sets that every Khateeb needs. Yeah? One is tajweed, because you're going to be leading salah. So you have to have respectful tajweed so you're not making big mistakes. Because some school will consider the salah to be invalid. Second is your speaking skills. Third, Islamic knowledge. And fourth, your ability to put together content. So let me, as you can see, if anybody was expecting to become a Khateeb after this training, I may bust your bubble. Yeah, you're expecting to become a Khateeb right after this training? So, even Islamic knowledge, can you just gain this overnight? Speaking skills, does that happen overnight? It takes time. Tajweed, it takes lots of repetition, lots of help, coaching, and also for content. The bottom of it takes a while. So, and do remember, when a person comes in, the most important thing for you is to understand what was the job of the messenger. Because right now, when you're a Khateeb, you're playing the role of the messenger. What time is it right now? It's 12. I say we should take a 4-minute break. And I'm going to come back at 12:05, just move around, and then we'll start with this ayah. So make you understand what is the job of the messenger. And once you understand it, then you know how you are the messenger of the messenger and all the messengers before him. So the 4th thing Allah mentions here, وَالَّذِي بَعْثَ فِي الْأُمِّيِّينَ. Yeah? رَسُولٌ مِّنْهُمْ يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِهِ. So what is the first thing they're doing? They're reciting the